Yeah, fourth in the country in hitting last year with every returning player back. It is a good hitting team, and they competed really hard. I think, you think about the school, Virginia Military Institute. I mean, they do things a lot more important than college baseball, and so they just go out there and compete. And they did a good job of that today. This was not a surprise. We knew this would be a hard game, and I expect them to continue to hit and have success as they go through the season.
Do you think part of maybe some of the problems that you guys had earlier in the game on the mound had to do with the fact that you guys were kind of falling behind in counts a little bit? A lot of 1-0, 2-0, 3-0.
Yeah, I'd have to dissect that a little bit more. I thought Thatcher was great for 8 hitters. I think he was perfect through 8 hitters. I thought he threw a really good pitch on the 3-2 count to the 9 hitter and walked him, unfortunately, there. And then we got the balk. Pitchers did a great job managing the running game today. I think they made 3 outs on the bases. VMI made 3 outs on the bases. They stole like 192 last year, so it's good to see some of our preparation for that. Get some things done. But yeah, I'll definitely go back and look at that. But the top of the order is pretty good.
Jay, can you talk a little bit about the pressure that they put on y'all on the base pass? It was a very aggressive team, led the country in steals last year, and it looked like you guys were, as the game got on, a little more comfortable with that. Is that something?
Yeah, we were ready. I mean, they had 3 stolen bases, I believe, and we picked them off 3 times, or 4 between pickoffs and throwing them out. So it'd be like a quarterback throwing 3 touchdowns and then throwing 4 interceptions. That's basically what happened. But that's respect, like live by the sword and die by the sword.
What did you see from Nate?
I thought he was good. I think, at that point in the game, it was just like opening day is something you cannot simulate. So just wanted the right heartbeat out there, and he obviously has it, pitching in such important times for us last year. I thought he kind of turned it back in our dugout, even though he gave up the homer. Like, I still don't know how that guy hit that and went over the fence. And then he completely got it back in our dugout with those zeros, and I think he got a little tired in the last inning. So if there's a coach's ERA, you can give those 2 runs to me in the 8th inning. We were trying to do something with 4 games in 4 days, and that was my fault that he gave up those 2 in the 8th.
The 6th inning, when they had the 2 hit by pitches, that walk-in runs, and then I think that 3rd walk, just that 5 spot as a whole, how big was that, and how big was the discipline at the plate to kind of produce that?
Yeah, it's great. That's our deal. Free bases from the plate, strike zone discipline. There's some walks in there, some hit by pitches. Again, which is great. And then we got a big 2-out hit, right there with Mac. So everybody contributed, in the middle of that. I thought the middle of our order was great today. I mean, that 4 to 7 really produced. Paxton got a big hit in the 8 hole. So it was good to see.
That Paxton double you talked about, that's the potential that you'd like to see a lot of.
Oh yeah. I mean, he's going to get plenty of chances. He's got so much ability, and he's a great kid, and he works his tail off, and he's on the best offensive team in recent college baseball history. So, and he contributed on that. I mean, he had 290 something as a freshman, and it's his time, and couldn't be more excited every time I see him come to the plate and run around there in the outfield and be on the bases. And I told Jamie right before, hopefully I can do this more often this year. He's like, hey, he's going to hang a slider. He's going to rattle around in the left field corner for 2 RBIs, and that's exactly what he did. So should try that more often.
I know you're big on one of your best pitchers finishing games and finishing close game like that. What did you think of Gage Jones?
Yeah, he's pretty good. Yeah, he was pretty good.
Is that kind of a role you see him playing?
I don't know yet. I mean, we got a lot to figure out. I mean, we gave up some runs today. We gave up some hits today, got behind in some counts today. But again, I think that team, opening day environment, you have to assess like some of the why. So what I want to do is take that part of it, maybe out of the equation, and assess like, what do we need to do better? Mix pitches better, get ahead better, miss out of the middle of the plate, up or down, all of those types of things. Because the 4-run inning, like that happened like that. I mean, it was like walk, single, balk, single, double, stolen base, single, and you know, sometimes that's what good teams can do. So I'm gonna peel that back, and then we'll kind of go from there and figure that out.
There's a lot of new guys for you today in your starting nine. What did you see from those guys, Braswell, Jake Brown, Gage Dump? How do you think they're kind of acclimating to this
Yeah,
new
I
run?
thought Braswell got down a bunt, which was key. We scored 3 runs after that, I believe, or 5. That was the 5-run inning. I think that was a heck of a play in the 8th inning that he made when he had to come and get it. Sammy threw a great pitch. Sammy Dutton threw a great pitch, and guy kind of hit it off the end of the bat, and that was a big out, like, because we were right in the heart of their order at that point in time. So I like that he made that play. He's played great. You know, it's the first real game, but we've played like 35 times. So having the history of like what he's done, like he's such a good player now, and I'm super happy. I think he did a great job. Jake, I mean, I guess he wanted to get that first college hit out of the way, you know, on the first pitch. He's a great athlete, going to be a great player here. I thought they handled themselves well, and then it's nice to have Tommy and Hayden, you know, the guys that were staples of the middle of that order last year when we were playing our best. Josh Pearson, I don't know if heartbeat ever gets above 60, so it's nice to have a guy like that. 3 really good at bats out of Jared Jones, so really happy for him. Obviously, you guys just talked to Mac, super clutch, 5 for 5 on quality at bats. Paxton we talked about, and then Alex, you know, was a good at bat, and then Brady, you know, not moving his feet and getting hit right there. So everybody contributed, you know, from an offensive standpoint.
With Gage, is it just a matter of trying to work him up to get him to pitch more than an inning or so? Because even though he looked really, really good in that 1 inning.
Well, yeah, so we were trying to have him throw 2 innings.
Mm-hmm.
I wasn't losing this game today, though. Period. Like, that's just bottom line. Once it's for all of that to happen and then get to 11-8, I was like, you know what? Like, no, he's going in the game. And if somebody would have hit a 3-run homer and it was 14-8, he was still going in the game. So we just have to be smart about that, like getting him up. And if we're going to get him up, we have to use him. But, you know, until we build the pitch count up, like, you'd rather have him build the game. We'll see how he feels. He only threw 11 pitches. So, I mean, I don't know if we'll be able to use him again this weekend or not.
And with your 3 outfielders, what was sort of the thinking behind having, you know, Paxton in center and Jake in right and Mac in left, even if Mac has the more quote-unquote experience in center field?
I just like how it looks. I think Paxton's special center fielder. Let's start there. I think Jake will probably be a center fielder here at some point, or a first baseman, because he's really good at that too. I mean, Mac can really do anything. So feel. You know, and kind of like as we matriculated through the fall and the early spring practice, that was just the combination I liked the best. Now, I will say with Thatcher, as hard as he throws and some of those swings, you're going to get more fly balls to right. And Jake has just been very comfortable in right field. So that was why he started today. It was a really tough decision because we have 3 really good players, 4, 5 really good players on the bench. But, you know, I wanted them to hit the ball in the air to him, you know, today.
Tomorrow, early in the season, do you have some of these conditions you just have to grind through, like 40s, 15, 20 mile an hour wind, that kind of stuff?
Is that what tomorrow is?
That's what it looks like.
Okay.
2 o'clock, yeah.
And I don't know anything about the direction of them or blowing in or blowing out or any of that, so
Yeah.
I just look at the flag when I show up. B major, get me again. Yeah, it's part of it. You know, how great was it that it was 60-something degrees today? Man, that was amazing.
There's been a lot of talk about the experience that VMI has in this lineup. I know you probably didn't want to pitch as many guys as you pitched today, but was it good to get a few of those guys out there on opening day? And
I think we accomplished far more that can help us in that game winning 11-8 than had we won 13-0 or 14-0. And, you know, would I've loved to be a little bit cleaner in some areas so we have. Yeah, I mean, I was trying not to put him in, you know, so we could potentially use him tomorrow. He would have pitched tomorrow regardless, like with, you know, some things that we need to do to set some things up for where we're headed down the road. But we tried, it didn't work. You know, I like I said, I should have gotten Nate out of the game. He should not have gone back out there for the 8th inning. But I didn't, and so they scored 2 runs. And then Gavin did a great job. Sam Dutton has thrown the ball great. He's been one of the not surprise, just great improvements of our January, February practices. So I thought he was the better matchup, And he was, and he did a great job. And then by that point, it was like, man, this has been hard. That dude down there, he's going in the game right now. So
What's Sam improved on then?
everything, yeah. And it's just, you know, a lot of people will forget, like, he was starting Sundays for us as a freshman. And, you know, I know he pitched really good. He pitched twice against Texas A&M out of the bullpen. He pitched a game at Florida that we won to win that series, which I think was a critical series in, like, my time here, you know, winning at Florida on the road that first year. He started that game. Had a great start at Arkansas, even though we lost that year. So, and then, you know, it's just grinded his way through it. He's a great team guy. Never ask what's in it for him. So I'll use you wherever, you know, I'll be ready whenever you want to use me.
Did you were you guys sort of thrown off a little bit by some of the slower velocity guys?
I don't think so at all. I mean, we scored 11 runs. I was a little ticked in the first inning because, you know, we were dialed into what we wanted to do. But I thought after the first inning we did a really good job. I do. I mean, again, like, that was the best offense in recent college baseball history last year, period. Okay, and so just because it says LSU across our chest, like, that's not happening immediately. Now, these guys are pretty good. Ask our pitchers; these guys are pretty good, and they'll continue to be good. But it's hard, man. It's not going to be perfect.
Time for one more. Anybody has anything? Dylan's first pitch?
Yeah. I mean, he was all nervous. I was like, "What are you talking about? Nervous? Like, you're good at everything." Yeah, no, I think that was awesome. You know, I mean, our last game here was a super regional, so I mean, there's no way I'm telling that dude we're giving you a curtain call, but you don't get to run and jump on the top of the dog pile from center field. So I thought it was cool. Like, our fans got to appreciate that, and you may never see that again. Like, I plan on us doing great here for a long time, but you may never see that again. That is the best college position player there has ever been. And so I thought it was really cool. I don't care about the first pitch, but, like, that our fans got to show appreciation for Dylan.